In the ancient city of Alexandria, on the coast of Egypt, there once stood a library unlike any other. It was built under the rule of the Ptolemies, the Greek kings who took power after the death of Alexander the Great. Their dream was bold and simple, to gather every piece of human knowledge into one place. They wanted the wisdom of the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Mesopotamians, the Indians, and anyone else who had something to teach. The library quickly became more than just a building. It was a symbol of human curiosity. Scholars from all over the ancient world traveled to Alexandria to read, write, and share ideas. Some of the greatest minds in history are said to have studied there. Mathematicians like Euclid, inventors like Archimedes, and thinkers from across cultures found themselves in the halls of this vast collection. The shelves were lined with hundreds of thousands of scrolls, each one holding words that could change the way people understood the world. Medicine, astronomy, history, mathematics, poetry, and philosophy, all of it had a place there. The Ptolemies were so serious about collecting knowledge that they ordered ships that docked in Alexandria to hand over any scrolls they carried. The originals were copied, and the copies returned. The originals stayed in the library. Over time, the collection grew into something legendary. Imagine standing in a city where, at your fingertips, you had access to the stories, discoveries, and beliefs of almost every known civilization. That was the dream of the Great Library of Alexandria. But like so many grand dreams, it did not last forever. The story of its fall is filled with mystery, and to this day, historians are not certain of the full truth. What we do know is that the library was damaged and possibly destroyed in a series of tragic events spread over centuries. The first blow may have come in 48 BC during the Roman civil wars. Julius Caesar laid siege to Alexandria, and in the fighting, fire spread to parts of the city. Some sources claim that the flames reached the library and destroyed thousands of scrolls. Others believe the damage was less severe, but it was clear that the collection was not as safe as people once thought. Later, as Rome took control of Egypt, the library may have suffered again. Some accounts suggest that during the rise of Christianity, pagan temples and institutions were destroyed, and the library was among them. Still others say it was during the time of Theodosius in the late 4th century, when the Serapeum, a daughter library linked to the main one, was torn down. And then there is the story that the final blow came in the 7th century, when the city fell to Muslim forces under Caliph Omar. According to legend, the scrolls were burned as fuel for the city's baths. But many historians doubt this story, as it first appeared centuries after the event. What is certain is that by the early Middle Ages, the library was gone. The scrolls, whether destroyed in fire, scattered by conquest, or simply lost through neglect, vanished from history. And with them may have vanished works of science, literature, and philosophy that could have changed the world forever. Imagine what knowledge we might have had, cures, inventions, or ideas that were centuries ahead of their time, all lost because the words were never passed on. The Library of Alexandria has become more than just a story about a building. It is a warning about how fragile knowledge can be. One fire, one war, one act of neglect can erase centuries of progress. Today, when we speak of the library, we do not think of the scrolls that survived, because none did. Instead, we think of the loss itself, of what might have been, and how easily the wisdom of the past can disappear. The Great Library of Alexandria was a dream of gathering all human knowledge in one place. Its destruction reminds us that history does not only remember what we create, but also what we fail to protect. Imagine a place where all the world's knowledge was gathered in one city. That was the dream of the Great Library of Alexandria. Scrolls from Greece, Egypt, India, Mesopotamia, hundreds of thousands of them, filled its shelves. Thinkers like Euclid and Archimedes studied there, pushing human knowledge forward. But the dream didn't last. Fires, wars, and neglect tore it apart. Some say Julius Caesar's siege burned it. Others blame later emperors or invaders. The truth is, no one knows for sure how it was destroyed. What we do know is this: the greatest collection of wisdom the world had ever seen vanished. And with it, perhaps, cures, inventions, and ideas that could have changed history forever. The Great Library of Alexandria wasn't just lost, it was a warning. Knowledge is fragile, and once it's gone, it may never return.